Hi, welcome to TechCrunch, a place where we learn and earn technical skills in the most efficient way. Let's make coding fun. Swing Graphical User Interface API, JButton. Today we are going to present you a live demonstration and implementation of using JButton to present Windows-based application feature. Before we get into the live implementation, let's first see what is actually JButton and what are the uses and a small example and see how we can use it. JButton basically is a kind of a feature you can add in your application for a user interface. For example, if you have a form submission and you enter your first name, last name, date of birth and all the information, now user has to click on the button and submit the form and enter all the data into the database. Now that particular interaction from the user to provide a very interactive kind of user interface for the user is in the form of button. Just click on the button and your data will be entered in the database in the process and the complete interaction will be done. So that particular feature can be implemented in Swing using JButton. Now the JButton is a kind of a class which is included in the javax.swing package. So all you need to first import javax.swing.start package in your class. Next we need to have an object of JButton class. So JButton class is used to create a labeled button that has platform independent implementation. The application results in some action when the button is pushed. So when the user actually click on the button, there has to be some kind of action to be implemented. In that case, we need to have a kind of an event handling or implement an action listener method. Now, what is actually an action listener here? We'll see that in detail when actually we work on it. Now, when it comes to the implementation of JButton, first thing we need to inherit abstract button class, which is included in this package. Now, abstract button class will provide a complete layout and will give you a small rectangle, create a rectangle and complete layout to have a button and do some kind of implementation inside it. Now, there is something called J option pane, which is basically help you to customize your button with an icons, some message or some text or title or some more options like yes, no, exit, new game and any kind of application. Now, just to let you know, JButton can be used not just for the registration form submission or any kind of application, but also you can use it in the game application where you need to have a new game or exit or score, and these buttons can be implemented in your games. So when it comes to the games, there are so many kinds of buttons you can include it. Some logic, sometimes you can use those like in a tic-tac-toe example. You have tiles and those tiles as considered as a button. So those places also JButton can be implemented. Now, syntax to create an object of JButton is just like a regular class object. We have to have a class name, JButton object name and the new keyword, the JButton constructor, and inside the constructor we can mention what we need to label your button, submit, exit, close, click here or your message or anything you can include it. Now, when it comes to the implementation, all you need to have a JFrame that you can see in our previous session where we have created frame. And that particular frame is nothing but the window. That's called JButton demonstration. You can see. The next step, we need to create a button. So we'll create an object of a button. Now, this button class has some methods defined. So all we need to have the object and we can invoke those methods in your window. So layout of the window can be customized properly with the specific location. So all these are the coordinates where you want to locate this particular button. So you can change these pixels, numbers like 50, 100, 95, 30. This is the location of the button in the entire window. So based on that, you can customize the layout of your frame. Since this is a graphical user interface API, so all we can design the layout of your window and implement some action listener implementation. You can do it. That we'll see in the demonstration in detail. So for now, just to understand, when we have a Swing graphical user interface API based application, we are designing the layout of the user interface of your application. So all you can do is, like, with the help of the coordinates, you can locate your button and add the more buttons and complete design of your application. Now, when we say the JButton class, it has so many methods, just regular classes we have. One is set text, which is used to set specified text on button like click here, OK, exit, login, cancel, submit here, or terms and any text you can specify it on your button. Get text, if in case you have to get any text while clicking on the button, you can use this. Set enabled is used to enable or disable the button. So some logic you can use here with the help of the set enable method, where you need to disable the button, like you don't want user to use that button. You can simply use this method. Set icon, you can even use your image button in your application. So based on this with the help of this application, you can set the specified icon or image on the button. Get icon, you can get icon of the button and add action listener. Now when it comes to the action listener, basically what is the meaning of there is, when user click on the button, some interaction to be processed. For example, when you enter your username and click on the button to verify your username. So when you click on login, there has to be some logic or implementation has to be done. That particular implementation can be added in your action listener. That means the user entered on login to verify the username. So what we need to do, what our application has to do, is take the information from the user and process it to the database, give it to the database, so it will connect to the JDBC or any kind of other kind of thing, and get the verification and then return you the result if it is verified or not. So that particular implementation is included in your add action listener. So this is a method which is included in our package that you can override in your button implementation. It is used to add the action listener to this object. So JButton used for basic user interface requirement, form submission, interactive content, used in poll kind of application, new registration form, games application, alert box or pop-up features, and designing. Now let's take a look at the demonstration. So to understand the JButton demonstration, what are we going to do here? We are going to create a frame using JFrame. Then we create a button using JButton. Third step, we are going to create a text field and we are going to enter some text, some message, hello, how are you, or anything in the J text field. And in the end, the last step, we are going to override the action perform method for event handling. So that particular thing is like when you click on the submit button, it will change the context of the text field and print it, display it, welcome to TechRanch. Now let's see the demonstration. So this is my Eclipse IDE. I am just going to continue with my last application where we have seen our JFrame. So we have Java Swing, and this is my application and this is my package. I'm just going to create a JButton demo _tr, and I want the main method, of course, and inside this class what I need to do is, first thing, we need to import the packages. So import javax.swing.star. Star will include all the classes whichever it is included inside the Swing package. Now after this, first step we need to create JFrame, and let's have a JFrame with title JButton Demonstration by TechRanch. Termination. Second step, we need to have the JButton. So JButton object is B and new keyword and the constructor. And inside the constructor argument, you can have the text what you need to print. So we can have the click here or submit. Right, submit here. Next we need to have the text field. We'll do the text field in the next session in detail, but for now just consider like we need to print some message and do some action listening on it. So we'll have a little bit text field and an argument. Now once the text field is created, next step we need to design it and set the complete layout of the design of your window. So let's pass some kind of coordinate of missed actually. This has to include it in the main method. Maybe set arguments. So what we can do, set bounds or bounds. So you can see here the coordinates are like x and y, width and height. So we can enter any location. You can design 50 pixel or 100 coordinate of y. Your width is 95 or anything 60 or 100. We can make it 100. I want the big bit button, or height will be your 100 or 50. So this is the coordinates of the button, and the next step we need to have the button coordinates. So button, this is what the text field, and this one will be the for the button. Let's make it similar. 100 and 95 or 50, or height will be 30. So this is for button, that was for text field. And in the end we need to have some action listener, so include some action listener method in your button. So if you see, if I'm trying to just have the dot operator, that helped me to invoke all the methods included in this package. So I just want the add action listener. So here's the add action listener method. Inside this method I can call my action listener and create the object, call the constructor, and inside this constructor I am going to write the implementation of your action performed method. So this is how we create and perform the action listen event handling in case of button activity action event. So inside the constructor we are writing the and overriding your action listener, and inside that I'm just changing the text. That's my logic behind it, is what, welcome to TechRanch. So user enters some text and that will convert into this text when it clicks. And termination of action listener method implementation will be with the help of semicolon in the end of the method. Of course we need to close the method. So this is the basically your entire method here. Some error is because of the package is not included. So we can include it the method package. So what we did, we have included our implementation and override the method. And the next step, we need to add those features in your with frame. We just created a different object like text wheel and button. Now we need to add it in the frame all together. So add the object of your button, f dot set size. About, I'll make it 500 just for big size and visible to everyone. And f, of course I forgot to add your text field. And your layout supposed to be null, and your frame set layout equals to your null. I don't want anything in that. And set visible will be true. Resizable you can add true. So let's see the execution. So you can see here, look at the layout. This is what the designing fault when we make any object in and create a graphical user interface. What is happening inside the text field? We have the button. So what we can do here, let's just terminate this, and this is the coordinate. Now let's take a look this one. So here you go. Hello, how are you? Any text, nothing, not necessarily the same. Welcome to TechCrunch. If you click on it, suppose I just send some, and when I click on submit, it will change to welcome to TechCrunch. So this is the live demonstration and implementation of JButton in Java Swing. Now it's practice project time, a homework. So what you can do for practicing JButton with alert box feature, where you have to write a program to practice JButton with alert box feature implemented when user click a button and a pop-up message box opened. Hint, you can use J option pane for add action and even for message box. J option pane basically used when we have number of choices to include in your interaction when the button or clicked. So when we write the action perform method, there you can use the J option pane and ask and implement the button. When the user click on the button, it will pop up the message. So all you need to call the alert box in the J option pane, using the J option pane in the action perform method. For any kind of assistance, questions, concerns, source codes needed, please contact techcrunch2019@gmail.com. And this is all about the JButton. You can also try to include image using image icon object created in the JButton. So this is all about the JButton in Java Swing session. We are going to have more coming up sessions for the Java Swing, so stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please subscribe to our channel and stay tuned for more upcoming interesting and informative sessions. Let's make coding fun. Thank you.